And we are live.
Hi, and welcome to episode 62 of TLC Tech Learn Coffee, now powered by Q for one more month. I am your host, Lisa Nowakowski, and I teach fifth grade in South Monterey County here in California.
And I'm Nancy Minicoatesy. I'm an instructional technology coach in Northwest Los Angeles County, also in California.
Yay. So reminder, we have a 15-minute format because ain't nobody got more time than that.
No, they don't. And here's a fact that I was very surprised to learn. Apparently, Finland is the world's coffee capital. Finland doesn't produce any coffee beans of its own, but its citizens drink a lot of coffee. In fact, they drink more than any country in the world.
Yes. I thought that was interesting too. So I'm super excited about tonight's guest, and it is Hawanya Urquhart, and she's going to be talking to us about Project Lit Detroit. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do.
Okay. Hi, guys. I'm Hawanya Urquhart, and I live in Detroit, Michigan. I am a middle school teacher at in the Plymouth Canton Community School District. I can't believe this is like year 20. And I have a senior in college, so I'm excited about that. And I teach English language arts to middle schoolers.
Awesome. I'm so excited to hear about Project Lit Detroit. I saw that you had got it started in your area. So what exactly is like Project Lit and specifically Project Lit Detroit?
Okay. So I was I found Project Lit actually like scrolling through Twitter earlier this year. And it is a literacy student-led book club that was originated by Jared Amato. I hope I'm pronouncing his last name. Sorry, Jared, out of Nashville, Tennessee. So he's a high school English teacher, and he started it actually about 2 years ago within his classroom. And it started off as a service project. The kids were doing like community service and getting books in their community based on an article that they read about book deserts. And so sounded good. I was interested, started following him in this program. And so I decided that it was something that I needed to do and wanted to do in the community. I still live in Detroit. And so even though I teach in another school district, I just thought that in the area where I live, it would be important to bring this to the community. And so I decided to start this group for kids 12 to 18 years old. And I was able to partner with a branch of the Detroit Public Library system. So that's in the neighborhood.
That is awesome. That is so amazing.
Yeah.
Now, you said it had just started. So what has the response been so far?
So we had an informational meeting about a month ago, and I didn't know who was going to show, who wasn't going to show. So we met on a Saturday, and there were about 5. And so I'm book talking the books, and while they're there, they're texting friends and inviting them to come. So I thought I was, happy about that. So going back a little bit, so we're going to read The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. That's our first book. So introducing that to the kids, I needed to hook them. So they were excited about that particular book. I had 25 donations come in of the copies of the book. So that's one reason why we went with that one. And so we have our first meeting this upcoming Saturday. And hopefully I've actually delivered 2 books tonight. I got a call from a mom asking if her kids could participate. And so I took the books and delivered them. So I'm excited. So we'll see what happens on Saturday. Hopefully I'll have at least 20 kids there and adults.
So on Saturday, will you begin discussing?
So the kids have had a month to read the book. So we will discuss, and we'll do trivia. So we'll have like a discussion guide and go through some questions and ideas. And then we'll do book trivia and kind of close it on that note. And I will also have the next book we selected. The kids voted on 2 additional titles for November and December. So the November book will be dispersed at that meeting as well. So.
Wow, that's so exciting. And I love following you and seeing all of the great things that you're doing. And just the excitement behind it all. It's been really fun to watch over the last month.
Thank you. I think what's important, because I know I'm kind of like going really fast, but the most important thing is that we're reading books that are culturally relevant. And in this day and age, getting kids to read and keeping them engaged is important. So what I really enjoy about it is that kids are able to read about characters that even look like them versus classics where characters don't look like them and it's not relevant or meaningful to them. So books like The Hate U Give, I recently read, sorry, I'm going to show you this one, Pride, which is a remix of Pride and Prejudice. So, and it's set in Bushwick, in Brooklyn. So I just thought this was, this is more relevant kids can get into versus, an old canon. So I think that's important for people to realize the thing about Project Lit. It's bringing culturally responsive literature to the classroom and keeping kids engaged in a way. And also allowing kids that may not otherwise experience that, they get to look through another lens. So I think that's why it's important.
It's so important for our students and just, kids and people in general to be able to connect, like you said, culturally with, the things that they're reading and not seeing the classics, which are just the general one-dimensional sort of thing.
Right. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited about it. And, just the response and just trying to like pump it up for, the kids to be engaged about it.
Now you said this is nationwide, so there is the opportunity for people to get something like this started in their communities as well. So how can somebody go about getting it started in their community?
Right. So just like I did, I emailed Jared at projectlitcommunity@gmail.com. And he will send you a link to apply to be a chapter leader and kind of send you like the resources and everything to make sure it's something that you are interested in. And the one thing that he is adamant about is like using the text. So they select kind of the books each year. So right now, because it's been in effect for 2 years, there are like 40 books, both for middle grade and high school, young adult, for teachers to choose from or chapter leaders to choose from.
That's excellent. So it sounds like they really have it set up for you to be successful.
Right.
So how did you go about getting the donations for the books? You said you got 25 books for the September selection.
Word of mouth. I created an Amazon wish list, and I created a wish list through Barnes and Noble. And then I just started, because in all the years that I've been teaching, I've never been that one to ask for help or ask for donations. So, and then just kind of putting out word of mouth through family and friends. So 2 sisters donated the 25 copies of The Hate U Give. A cousin donated 10 copies of Ghost Boys. And then I have a really cool donor from named Kathy from Tennessee. She's originally from East Lansing, Michigan. So she's also been sending books, and which I am very grateful for. So I do have a wish list, a link on our Instagram page that anyone can go and follow, and we will gladly accept any donation. So,
and we do have all of your information that we will be sharing out with the viewers as well, as far as Instagram and Twitter and things like that. So feel free to donate as well. Yes. Is there anything else that you would like to, share, about share about this with anybody?
Just that I love the love of literacy and just providing kids with what they need and providing kids with relevant things that they need. And, making sure that you are giving all of your kids, students, whether I don't do this within my classroom, but I do share the books with my kids. So I book talk these books with my students. But I just felt like I needed to give back, to my community per se, and just provide kids with what they need that's culturally relevant.
I love that. Just especially in this day and age, and more cultural relevancy is coming out. And the neighborhood that you live in is demographically different than where you teach. I know where you teach. They're very, very different.
Right.
So
and providing them with that, because like I book talk Pride this morning, and one of the kids jumped on it as soon as I was finished talking about it. So it's still there, and we'll see what happens. Yeah.
I love that. And then your students get to see exposure to other cultures as well, and just get to see different books from a different perspective.
Exactly. And that's what's important.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Yeah. So I hope that people, join in, listen, and, start their own chapters or donate to chapters in their area.
Oh, definitely. So look out for, just follow on. Twitter is the big social media group for Project Lit. There's a chat scheduled for this Sunday, 6 p.m. Central Time. So if you guys are available, check that chat out, because a lot of valuable information and resources come through the Twitter chat. So, and that's something that I learned this year as well. So I've gained a lot of information, a lot of insight. So, thanks to Jared and those guys that, started the idea. Yeah.
And to imagine that it just started as a service project with students.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
and they have their own movement. That is awesome.
Right.
All right. Nancy?
Yes. All right. Now we're good. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for listening. If you enjoyed the show, which I sure did, it was wonderful. Please leave us a comment to let us know. And tonight's comment question is, how has this idea inspired you, either in your community or in your classroom? What action are you going to take? Please join us Monday, October 15th, when our guest will be Brent Coley, who will be talking about something fabulous, I'm sure.
He told me and I forgot.
He didn't tell me. He gave me a bunch of topics and they were all really good. So I can't wait to see.
So please don't forget to subscribe to hear more about easy ways for you to innovate in your classroom. If you like the show, and well, of course you did, why wouldn't you? Please be sure to rate us and leave a review on iTunes. It makes it easier for other people to find us. Remember, we are always looking for guests to share the great things that they are doing in their classroom. So if you know of someone who fits the bill, or if you'd like to be a guest, please visit tlc.ninja and complete the contact form to let us know. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.
All right.